Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gaur Chandruju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Raj Govardhanju Ki Jai, Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Pari Brajakacharya, Astaterasita Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jayam Vishnupada Paramahansa Pari Brajakacharya, Astaterasita Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Class. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Chita Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svaparantikam. Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gaur Chandraju Ki Jai, Jai Giraju Ki Jai. Haribol. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the Adi Lila, Volume 1, Chapter number 5. The glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. So now we are speaking about the Purusha avatars, who are all expansions of an expansion of Lord Balaram. Adyavatar, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Adyavatara Mahapurusha Bhagavan Sarvavatara Bija Sarvashrayatam. Bij means seed. That Mahapurush is identical with the personality of Godhead. Mahapurush is who?
Mahapurush is Mahavishnu.
Very good. He's identical with the personality of God. I mean, they're the same person. He is the original incarnation, the seed of all others, and the shelter of everything. Ajo vatara purusha parasya kala sabhava sarasan manascha dravyam vikaro guna indriyani virat svarat stasnu charishnu bhumna. The Purush, Mahavishnu, is the primary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Time, nature, Prakriti as the cause and effect, the mind, the material elements, false ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form, complete independence, and the moving and non-moving beings appear subsequently as his opulences. We read this yesterday. But isn't that amazing? And if we can remember this verse, then every phenomenon that we see will remind us of the Lord. Because he's really not different from his potencies. In one sense. Just like if you do a painting, you make a painting, it's a manifestation of your potency, of a potency, right? But it's not different from you. And that's, but this is fully true of all existence. We only dream under the influence of illusion that they belong to us. To all of these things, let's read them again. The Purush Mahavishnu is the primary incarnation of the personality of Godhead. Time. Who can do anything about time? Nature. Prakriti as the cause and effect of all of this. The mind, you think the mind, hey, that's mine, okay. But it isn't. The mind, the material elements, earth, water, fire, air, sky, ether. False ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form, complete independence, and the moving and non-moving beings appear subsequently as his opulences. Quite wonderful. But we don't remember these things because we have an invested interest in that not being true. Otherwise we would remember it all the time. So we do see what we want to see to some extent. The various expansions of the Supreme Lord who act to empower the material energy are known as plenary expansions or incarnations, as illustrated by the analogy of many flames lit from one flame. All of these plenary expansions and incarnation is as good as Vishnu himself. Nevertheless, because of their activities in controlling Maya, sometimes they are known as Mayic, or having a relationship with Maya. This is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse that we just read. So, of course, they're not Mayic, but he is this he is empowering Maya to do her job. I'm trying to think of that verse from the Brahma Samhita that talks about that. This one flame going to another flame, and that second flame is just as powerful as the first flame, but still the first flame is the original. So the Lord is the origin of all the incarnations. Is that clear?
Yeah. The Lord is the origin.
Huh?
The Lord is the origin of all the incarnations.
Yeah, and they're compared to?
A flame.
Flames of the original flame. But when you light another candle from one candle, the flame is exactly the same. Very good. Jagre Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Maharaja Sambhutam Sodasha Kalam Madauloka Shishrikshaya. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord expanded himself in the form of the Purusha incarnation, accompanied by all the ingredients of material creation. So the Purusha incarnation is?
All the ingredients of all incarnation?
No, the Purush.
All the Purush. Oh, it's
Just what you said before. Yeah. Yeah.
What is the entire name?
Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
Garbhodakashayi Vishnu.
And Shirodakashayi Vishnu. And Karanadakashayi Vishnu. Because these are all oceans. Who's lying on the Shirodakashayi, on the ocean of milk? Who's lying in the ocean of his own, the water coming from his own body, this Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and then Karanadakashayi Vishnu is lying on the causal ocean. Accompanied by all the ingredients of material creation, first he created the 16 principal energies suitable for creation. So if you're going to build something, first you're going to get the materials, right? So first he created the 16 principal energies suitable for creation, and this was the purpose of manifesting the material universes. This is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the first canto.
Is it Is it in your way?
No, it just keeps going down.
Okay.
So I didn't know if that was a problem. It's like he wants to bow down to Chaitanya Charitamrita. I mean, it's not bothering me. I just thought I should fix it. I don't know if I should or not. Do we need to get something? Okay, I don't know. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. The commentary of Madhva on the Srimad Bhagavatam mentions that the following 16 spiritual energies are present in the spiritual world. Shri, Bhu, Lila, Kanti, Kirti, Tushti, Gir, Pushti, Satya, Jnana, Jaya, Utkarshini, Bimala, Yogamaya, Pravi, Ishana, and Anugraha. In his commentary on the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan has said that the above energies are also known by 9 names: Bimala, Utkarshini, Jnana, Kriya, Yoga, Pravi, Satya, Ishan, and Anugraha. In the Bhagavad Sandarbha of Srila Jiva Goswami, text 103, they're described as Shri, Pushti, Gir, Kanti, Kirti, Tushti, Ila, Jaya, Vidya, Maya, Samvit, Sandini, Hladini, Bhakti, Murti, Bimala, Yoga, Pravi, Ishan, and Anugraha, etc. All these energies act in different spheres of the Lord's supremacy. And everything is personal. Everything is conscious. Jajapi sarvashrayati ho tahate samsara antaratma rupeti ho jagada uddara. Although the Lord is the shelter of everything, and although the universes rest in him, he, as the Supersoul, is also the support of everything. Although the Lord is the shelter of everything, and although the universes rest in him, he, as the Supersoul, is also the support of everything. So everything is existing in him, and as Shirdakshay Vishnu, he's supporting everything. Prakriti sahite tara ubaya sambandha tatapi prakriti saha nahi sparshagandha. Everything is existing in the Lord. Sometimes myself, think geographically that Mahavishnu's over here, he's breathing out universes, Shirdakshay Vishnu is maintaining everything, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the source of Brahma, is manifesting everything. But actually it's all within the Lord. We have to eventually stop thinking geographically. It's okay, because that's our field of reference. So we conceive of things according to our present experience. This is normal for us. But really it is absolute. Prakriti sahite tara ubaya sambandha tatapi prakriti saha nahi sparshagandha. Although he is thus connected with the material energy in 2 ways, he does not have the slightest contact with it. Meaning, he is not directly connecting with Maya. In the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami, commenting on the Lord's transcendental position beyond the material qualities, says that Vishnu, as the controller and superintendent of material nature, has a connection with the material qualities. That connection is called yoga. However, the person who directs a prison is not a prisoner. That's the thing. Everything is connected with the Lord, actually. Durga Devi is 100% under his orders. However, it is not in the sense of his being under the influence of Maya. And that's a very nice example. There's a superintendent of the prison house, but he's in no way connected with the prison in the sense of being a prisoner. He's not involved in the prison in that sense. Vishnu directs or supervises the qualitative nature. He has no connection with the material modes of nature. The expansion of Lord Vishnu always retained their supremacy. They are never connected with the material qualities. One may argue that Mahavishnu cannot have any connection with material qualities because if he were so connected, the Srimad Bhagavatam would not state that material nature, ashamed of her thankless task of acting to induce the living entities to become averse to the Supreme Lord, remains behind the Lord in shyness. In answer to this argument, it may be said that the word guna means regulation. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva are situated within this universe as the directors of the three modes, and their connection with the modes is known as yoga. So it's a mystical connection, and not mundane mysticism. It may be in the case of Brahma. It may be, depending on which Brahma it is, who is that Brahma. The person, the soul who has taken the position of Brahma, he may be connected with that in a mystical way, which is not thoroughly transcendental. But particularly this Brahma of this universe is a great Vaishnava. I mean, like a pure Vaishnava. So that is a mystical thing in transcendental service. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva are situated within this universe as the director of the three modes, and their connection with the modes is known as yoga. This does not indicate, however, that these personalities are bound by the qualities of nature. Lord Vishnu specifically is always the controller of the three qualities. There is no question of his coming under their control. Although the causal and element-supplying features exist in material nature by dint of the glance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord is never affected by glancing over the material qualities. By the will of the Supreme Lord, the different qualitative changes in the material world take place, but there's no possibility of material affection, meaning change or contamination for Lord Vishnu. He's not affected. Etarishana mishasya prakritisto pitadgunai na yujyate sadatmaster jata buddhis tadashraya. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated within material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and have fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. So just like the Lord can appear within this world and is in the form of the Purushas, but they're not touched by the world. And similarly, those great Vaishnavas who descend into this plane, they are also not affected at all. Not at all. All these good points, huh? Very important points. Emata Gita Emata Gita te hapuna punakai Sarvada Ishvara Tatra Achinta Shakti Hai. Thus the Bhagavad Gita also states again and again that the absolute truth always possesses inconceivable power. Amita jagate bashi jagata amate, na ami jagate bashi na ama jagate. Lord Krishna said, I am situated in the material world, and the world rests in me. But at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. Yeah. I am situated in the material world, and the world rests in me. But at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. This is a very mystical, transcendental mystical fact. He is not definable. Well, that's one thing. But it is very, we cannot really, in a mundane sense, position the Lord. He's beyond that kind of thing. He's free. He's Swarat. So that's one point to consider with all these, with everything. Nothing in existence is possible unless energized by the will of the Lord. The entire manifested creation is therefore resting on the energy of the Lord, like everything else. But one should not therefore presume that the material manifestation is identical with the personality of Godhead. A cloud may rest in the sky, but that does not mean that the sky and the cloud are one and the same. Similarly, the qualitative material nature and its products are never identical with the Supreme Lord. The tendency to lord it over material nature or Maya cannot be a feature of the personality of Godhead. He's not trying to exploit Maya. He doesn't need any of that. He doesn't require anything. Oh, did you just put out the bins? Is that what you think? When he descends to the material world, he maintains his transcendental nature, unaffected by the material qualities. In both the spiritual and material worlds, he is always the controller of all energies. Okay. Achincha Aishwara e Janiha Amar Eta Gitara Artha Kaila Pradachar. O Arjun, you should know this as my inconceivable opulence. This is the meaning propagated by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Seta Purusha Jana Angsha Dareda Chaitanya Rajange Se Nityanandaram. That Mahapurusha, Karanadakshay Vishnu, is known as a plenary part of him, who is Lord Nityananda Balaram, the favorite associate of Lord Chaitanya. Prabhuji, can you please do something for me? On the table in there is my hat.
Your hats.
Yeah.
You want your hats?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Eta navama shlokera arta vivarana dashama shlokera arta shuna diyamana. I've thus explained the 9th verse and now shall explain the 10th verse. Please listen with rapt attention. Alright, I wanted to find the 9th verse exactly. So I'll just go back here to the beginning. Oh. The 9th verse, I offer my obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representation, called Karanadakshay Vishnu, lying on the Karna ocean, is the original Purusha, the master of the illusory energy and the shelter of all the universes. All right, so we can start tomorrow with verse number 10. Okay. Any questions from anywhere? All right, Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnu Padesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay, we're continuing to read Sri Upadesamrita. Sri Upadesamrita ki Jai. Srila Rupa Goswami ki Jai. Srila Bhagavan Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai. And now we'll continue to read this discourse at Radha Kunda, at Sri Radha Kunda by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, we are now on page 350. Do you have that?
No. I will listen.
Huh?
I will listen.
You're going to listen?
Yes.
Why are you way over there?
Because I feel like I need to stretch.
Huh? Oh. Okay, Jai. There are linguistic differences between the words in the ancient scripts, such as Brahmi, Shanki, Karoshti, and Pushkarasa. All the dictionaries that have been created for these scripts are objects of enjoyment for the jivas who are adverse to Krishna. The name should not be conceived of in that way. Okay, so I'm going to go to the previous paragraph. To Jai Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Giriraj Shri Giriraju ki Jai. So I'm going to go to the previous paragraph because Srila Saraswati Thakur is explaining this paragraph. When, and I wanted to finish that story of Jamunacharya. So Sri Madhavendra Puri is saying, "O daily prayers, all the best to you. O daily baths, my obeisance to you. O gods and forefathers, I am unable to offer you oblations. Please forgive me. Wherever I dwell, I will easily be able to destroy the misery of material existence and my sins and offenses by again and again remembering Krishna, the crown of the Yadu dynasty and the enemy of Kamsa. So to remove the temporary misery of material existence and my tendency to sin, I have no need for these daily prayers, daily baths, or any other incidental functions." So now Srila Saraswati Thakur is referring to some of these words that are used in these types of daily prayers. Not that we're giving up our daily prayers, but these are referring to different words that are used in prayers meant for material enjoyment. There are linguistic differences between the words in the ancient scripts, such as Brahmi, Shanki, Karoshti, and Pushkarasya. All the dictionaries have been created for these scripts are objects of enjoyment for jivas who are averse to Krishna. The name should not be conceived of that in that way. You catch that?
I didn't really catch what about the jivas that are averse to Krishna.
So these words that are used in those types of prayers that Madhavendra Puri is saying, excuse me, I don't want to chant my daily prayers that are in the Varnashram system. There, many of the words in these prayers are for the material enjoyment of the jiva. In a better way, you could say, scriptures like, do it like this, say like this, and you'll have more enjoyment, higher enjoyment. And then Saraswati Thakur saying, don't conceive of the name like that. The name, to chant the holy name and the prayers connected with devotional life, those are not those prayers. Jaina Janma Satai Purvam Vasudeva Samarchita Tanmuke Harinamani Sadatishtanti Bharata. O descendant of Bharat, the names of Hari always remain in the mouth of those who previously worshipped Vasudeva for 100 births. Sriman Mahaprabhu has said, Nam Namakari Bahudani Jasarva Shakti Statrapita Niyamita Smarane Nakalaha Edadushi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midishami Hajani Nanuragaha. O Bhagavan, you have manifested your many names, put all your power in them, and made no rules regarding the time for remembering them. Such is your great mercy. My misfortune, however, is that I have no attachment to your names. Quote, I have a taste for worship, bathing at holy places and so on, but I have no taste for the exclusive service to the name. So these are ritualistic, religious actions. Can you tell the difference?
Well, the difference is that in one hand is meant for materialists to enhance their enjoyment.
Yeah.
And in the other hand is the holy names of the Lord.
Yeah. It's very, very big difference. So Krishna is saying, don't be bewildered by the flowery words of the Veda. They sound, have you ever heard like Brahmins chanting the Vedic hymns? It is very attractive. But we have to understand the nature of sound. What sound is bringing me, keeping me, because the Vedas, Krishna is saying in the Gita, it's like a peepal tree, right? There's a tree on the top of the pond, and then there's a reflection. And the Vedas are sending out roots to continue our connection in this world. Not all of the Veda, but a great amount of the Veda, a great portion of the Veda, is for material upliftment. So we have to be very cautious to understand the difference between one thing and another. So here, this prayer by Madhavendra Puri is very significant. I'm sorry, my worship, my oblations to my forefathers, my worship, all these ritualistic baths, taken in the various rivers to cleanse myself of my sins, and all these things, these are the baths that are being referred to, like going and bathing in the various holy rivers, for the sake of going on in my materialistic life and relieving myself of sinful reactions. So this is not attractive to the Vaishnava. It's not at all a sweet relationship with reality. That I'm going to continually offend you, and then I'm going to do some ritual so that I don't suffer for that. Do you follow?
That's an offense, right?
Well, it's...
To the holy name.
What if I keep poking you in the eye and then I do some ritual so that I don't get any reaction from you? It's like, okay. Of course, Krishna is not affected by us, but at the same time, we're trying to forget him. And he's the sweetest friend, living so close to me. But he's simply observing me doing all this. I have taste for worship, bathing at holy places and so on. But I have no taste for the exclusive service to the name. All the benefits and effects of the practices of worship, bathing at holy places, and so on, are intertwined in the holy name simply as subsidiaries. In other words, one can do those things. I mean, we do sometimes bathe in holy rivers, for sure, but not for not for my own purpose. What's more, all the personal power of the possessor of the name is present in the name. Still, souls are so unfortunate that they have no taste for the holy name. Thus, Thakur Mahashaya has sung, Tirtha Jata Parishrama Kevala Manera Brahma Sarva Siddhi Govinda Charan. Visiting holy places is simply labor. It's simply hard work, a mental delusion. All perfection is at the feet of Govinda. So it's said in the Bhagavatam that if somebody goes to bathe in the holy places or visit the holy places but does not bow down to the Vaishnava who's living there, he's no or a cow. They're also at the holy places. According to the conception of the followers of Karmakanda, visiting holy places is for purification of the heart. But purification of the heart is automatic for those who chant the holy name. Aho bhatta swapacho to gariyan yaj jivagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuvu sashnurardya brahmanuchur namagunanti te jete. Amazing! The outcast on the tip of whose tongue your name appears is exalted. Those who chant your name have performed all austerities and sacrifices, bathed in all the holy places, observed all the codes of conduct, and has studied all the Vedas. I mean, he's come to the conclusion of all these, the purpose of all these things. So it's as good as if he's done all those things. Is that clear?
Yeah.
The followers of Christ's Dharma say we should not take the name of Bhagavan in vain. And if we take the name of Bhagavan at all times, we will disturb Bhagavan. Bhagavan meaning God for them. I mean for us too, but it's not as clear. Materialistic followers of the Srimati scripture say Vishnu rests during the 4-month monsoon season, Chaturmasya. Therefore, if we loudly chant the name of Hari at this time, we can break Hari's sleep, and out of anger he can bring famine, drought, flooding, and so forth to the country. So these are different conceptions. You know, when we first went to India, or when devotees were first going, they would come back with some very funny ideas because they sometimes heard from an Indian person this and that and this and that, and in the West also. I mean, with all due respect, there's a lot of misconception, things that have just gotten made up that are not based on scripture at all. So if Chaturmasya, they're saying the Lord is resting, so don't chant during the Chaturmasya, you'll disturb him. And then he's going to get mad, and you don't want to do that. He's going to punish you for waking him up. And then another one will say, don't take the name of the Lord all the time. It's going to disturb the Lord. So let us remain quiet, because it is not unnecessary talk or village talk. Let us give indulgence to enjoyment in the form of unexpressed urge to speak or silence. So let us remain quiet, and because it is not unnecessary talk or village talk, let us give indulgence to enjoyment in the form of unexpressed urge to speak, or in other words, silence. It's better to they're saying, just remain silent. Don't say anything. Don't say village talk, and don't say ordinary talks about nonsense things that don't have anything to do with truth. So, because we can't say the name of Hari either, so we're just going to observe the vow of silence during Chaturmasya. This is their idea. In Christ's Dharma, however, the purpose of the prohibition of unnecessary taking the name of Bhagavan is not that we should not call out to Bhagavan at all times. Its purpose is that we should not call out to Bhagavan only for the purpose okay, here, let me read this. Its purpose is that we should call out to Bhagavan only for the purpose of serving Bhagavan. We should not call out to Bhagavan to take any benefits for ourselves, as though he is the proprietor of a garden. And we're just going to go take stuff out of the garden. Taking the name of Bhagavan to acquire any kind of worldly benefit is taking the name in vain. So that is the idea. And that is true. I mean, we were taught that, right? Don't take the name of the Lord in vain means like cursing, using the name of the Lord, and just using the name of the Lord in a way that is not devoted to him. This in Vaishnava scriptures is said to be an offense to the name aparad. And which offense is that? Do you remember?
Which offense?
Which offense against the holy name?
Against the holy name?
It's like taking the name of the Lord in vain.
You mean what number?
Well, yeah, which offense? It's, no, it's like committing sin on the strength of chanting the holy name. In other words, I'm just going to misuse the name for my own purpose.
Is that the same as using the holy name of the Lord to banish our past sinful activities? Or that's another?
No, the offense is that I'm going to keep on doing so many things wrong with the idea that it won't matter because I'll just chant the holy name and then everything, I'll be forgiven. There won't be any reaction. Now, that the question comes up, well, we do, sometimes we do fall down, and sometimes, we're just practicing, right? So sometimes we'll fall down, and we take the name again, but that is different. That's not just, I'm going to go do some really bad thing, and then I'm just going to chant the holy name, and I won't get any reaction. Everything will be fine, and I'm just going to keep doing that. That's really an offense. But accidental fall down, just because we just are weak, and then coming in a penitent mood with the idea that, my Lord, please allow me to continue in the process of pure devotional service, that's very different. I'm sorry, any question about that difference? So Srila Rupa Goswami's 8th instruction is the essence of all instruction. So we remember here that this talk is all about the verses of the Upadesamrita. Tannama rupa charitari kirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtam braje anuragi jaganugami kalam nayera kilamityupadesha sharam. When the sadhakas develop ruchi, or taste, by following the gradual path and engaging their speech and mind in chanting and remembrance of Krishna's names, Krishna's forms, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's associates, and Krishna's Lila, then they should spend their time residing in Braja under the guidance of the residents of Braja. This is the essence of all instructions. Of course, this is a different stage of devotional realization and position. And it's not that going to Vrindavan and residing there when one is in external consciousness. That's not really recommended. Actually, not recommended, period. Unless one is residing there for the purpose of service, for the purpose of devotional service, then he shouldn't reside there. In other words, he has some direct instruction from our Guru, from a Guru, Sri Gurudev, in the pure line of devotion. Then he may, under their shelter, live in Vrindavan for service, perhaps maintaining the temple or so on. But going to reside there on one's own, when one cannot understand Vrindavan at all and is seeing only an external way, that is not recommended. We should always remain submissive to the residents of Braja, the bank of the Jamuna, the place of Krishna's amorous play, the waters of the Jamuna, the cows, sticks, horns, and flute are all residents of Braja. They are residents of Braja in Shantaras. Raktak, Chitrak, Patrak, and others are eternal residents of Braja in Dasya Ras. Externally acting like a resident of Braja, but internally thinking of things other than Krishna, is not residing in Braja. Is that clear? I've seen it. I've seen devotees go and try to live in Vrindavan somewhere. It doesn't turn out well. This has to be done very carefully under the instruction of Guru and Gauranga. Otherwise we can visit for some small time. Only those who cannot even unknowingly or unwillingly engage in anything other than the service of Krishna Chandra, and who have constant natural attachment, anurag, to service, Krishna's service, are residents of Braja. If we cannot reside in Braja in this body, then we should reside in Braja within our pure heart. In our heart of hearts, that is situated in pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. The mind must always, in other words, when the heart is situated in pure Shuddha Sattva, then we will always be residing with Krishna. Doesn't matter where we are. The mind must be kept fully immersed in the conception of Braja. The mind is not meant for the concepts of enjoyment and renunciation. We need to give up both of those mentalities, enjoyment, bhog, and renunciation, tyag. And one who's seeing the divine environment, and we are practicing to see that, because it is the fact, not with our eyes, but with our remembrance and in the mood of surrender. And one who is really situated in that plane, there's no renunciation for him. What will he renounce? Everything is fine. Renunciation is a disease. But what we're renouncing is the mood of separate interest. That is real renunciation. Na nirvino nati shakto bhakti yoga siddhida. The bhakti yoga of those who are neither excessively averse nor excessively attached grants perfection. Neither a householder who is uxorious and extremely attached, or an extremely dry renunciant, can engage in Hari Bhajan. Both of them are unable to engage fully in Hari Bhajan. A person who is extremely attached to mundane things, and a person who has renounced the thing, all things. Both of them are not in a healthy position. Is that clear?
Yeah.
We have to follow the gradual path. First is the stage of hearing, Shravandas. We have to hear the name of Krishna and talks about Krishna. The name of Krishna will reveal himself as his form. So the name, first it is hearing, but deeper, we will see the name in many ways. then the form of Krishna he will reveal. His form, his qualities, his associates, his pastimes. And after the stage of hearing is a stage of accepting, Varandash. When the stage of accepting arrives after hearing, we begin kirtan of what we have heard. By engaging in constant and sincere kirtan, we reach the stage of remembrance, smarandash. There are 5 different forms of remembrance. General remembrance, remembering, something of what we've heard, and then concentration, dharana, meditation, dhyan, constant meditation, anusmriti, and absorption, samadhi. So now we're trying to remember, right? We're trying to engage in remembering and speaking to each other about Krishna consciousness and what we have heard. And that's Varandas. But then the full remembrance, of course, to speak we have to remember something, and that is general remembrance. And then there's concentration, really thinking about, deeply thinking about these things in relation to my own practicing life and so many different things. So very strong remembrance. Then meditation. And then from meditation, constant meditation. In other words, there's nothing distracting that person anymore. And then full absorption. Full absorption in the mood of surrender, never being deviated from that. Complete constancy, free from interruptions, is called samadhi. After the stage of remembrance is a state of attainment, apandas. In this stage, the sadhaka realizes their true self. After this, in the stage of fortune, sampatidash, one attains absolute perfection, vastu siddhi. So many, many stages of pure devotion. And it's good to remember these things and remember who we really are and where we are in the scheme of things, and keep going. Keep going. This is all wonderful from start to finish. We have to properly glorify or perform the Sankirtan of Bhagavan's names, forms, pastimes, and so forth. If we perform improper kirtan, kukirtan, or make a show of kirtan, we will not be successful. So please remember, we always have to remember, not every kirtan is on the same level. When Dayadar Gauranga Prabhu asked Srila Guru Maharaj, should we always join into every kirtan? And Guru Maharaj said, it depends on who is the leader of that kirtan. Not just leading in terms of, leading the kirtan, like saying the thing and everybody else is responding, but under whose leadership is the kirtan going on? And meaning our Guru Varga, and also what is the nature of those who are chanting? These are very important, fine things. So sometimes people just listen to anything called kirtan. And it could be Sahaja, it could be Mayavad, it can be Buddhist, it can be Boga, it can be just in the mood of enjoyment. So we're sticking to our own kirtan and following in the holy lotus footsteps of our Guru Varga very carefully. We're not just running around listening to anything from anywhere. It can be absolute aparad. And why should we join in that? So some discernment has to be there. We're going into very fine things. So fine discernment is necessary. Anyone who does any kind of fine work is going to understand that. Right? Even for cooking something, or and you're doing anything, some discernment is necessary. And what to speak of this? Very important. So if we're talking about mundane things when we're doing some, like preparing an offering for the Lord, then are we remembering that we're preparing? Are we offering what we're doing to the Lord? So discernment. Not everything is the same as everything else. Okay, we can stop here and then tomorrow. So Srila Saraswati Thakur, I mean, if you want to be discerning, you can definitely listen to his divine talks. And they require good concentration to understand. All right, Jai. Jai Shri Upadesamrita ki Jai. Haribo, Jai Shri Rupa Goswami ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhagavan Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you. Hari Rai Nama Krishna Yaramaya Nama Yaramaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gaur Jai, Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Jai Sapadika Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Sadgoswami Prabhu ki Jai. Saparshad Shriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai. Tadiya Shakamat ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission ki Jai. Kol Kartal ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Jai Gurudev ki Jai. All right.
Prabhu, Vimla Krishna Prabhu and Tunga Rasa Didi are present.
Very happy to have your company this morning.